The best detective this side of the Mississippi River is here on the internet, ready to solve some more mysteries. Um, I was thinking recently, obviously, turn to the calendar and all, and I was thinking about some, obviously, my favorite playthroughs of, years past and all. And I was like, it's really time for me. One of my, I think it was highly rated. I think on the channel, I think people really enjoyed it. And if I do say so myself, I hate to pat myself on the back, but my 4-part playthrough of Oberdin, looking back, was so much fun. So much fun. And I was like, you really know, this game coming up here is a game that draws a lot of comparisons to Oberdin. Uh, as far as I understand, I think it's probably similar deduction. Um, so we're gonna do it. The Roottrees are dead. A game that's older, but then I think came out in this version, this remaster version, for sale, last year, I believe. And I'm here to solve all problems. Select launch options. What is this? Play the Roottrees are dead or play the Roottrees are dead compatibility. I don't know what that means. I'm just gonna go non-compatibility. Oh my god, it's stretched onto multiple screens. Uh-oh. Hold. Hold. Mind your ears, by the way. I'm working on this. I'm working on things. There we go. Oh, we got some funky jazz going. I'm looking at audio levels. I'm sorry. I'm adjusting things. So yeah, if somehow you come across this video and you're like, oh dang, I didn't watch this guy play Oberdin, Return to the Oberdin, I highly recommend. Or if you get done watching The Roottrees Are Dead, I don't know how long this series is going to be. I don't think it's a super long game, but it'll probably be multiple parts. I'm probably not solving the mystery all in one night. Unfortunate. Alright, let me know if audio is bad at any point. I'll be monitoring it. I'll adjust if needed. The Roottrees are dead. Should I read this? The plane crashed last night near Pittsburgh. The only passengers were Carl Roottree, his wife Brenda, and their 3 daughters, known as the Rootree sisters. I assume that's who these are. Carl Rootree was the president of the Rootree Candy Company. Candy? And it's not clear who will succeed him. So far, local police are not sure what caused the crash. There's a crash site. Oh, I should have took a note. 1998. We're in late 90s territory. We're before the turn of the millennium. Candy Kong. They're calling it one of the most deadly plane crashes in Pennsylvania's history. All passengers and crew perished. Pittsburgh is generally known for pleasant flying conditions, and the weather was not atypical for this time of year. We do not know how much of this time, but our sources tell us that local authorities do not suspect terrorism. Crash did not cause any local property damage, and fortunately, nobody outside the plane was hurt. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God for no property damage. Funeral plans have not been announced, but you can be sure that the Butler County Times will cover it to the best of our abilities. Okay, so I gotta say, I don't know what the actual mission. Again, I always knew I wanted to play this game. I want to keep myself in the dark quite a bit. And the only other thing is I know that it has like deduction stuff, kind of like Oberdin is what it was pitched to me prior. So I would assume that, but I don't know what the mystery is. Am I gonna solve the plane crash itself? Is that because that seems like something I don't have the capabilities of doing? So I wonder what the actual mystery is. That's where my head is going right now. I'm like, where's the mystery? Was there an intentional crash? Maybe. Oh, I already have an idea. What if the Roottrees aren't actually dead? The end of the game, it brings this paper back up, and a little red marker adds an N and an apostrophe and a T, and the Roottrees aren't dead. Mystery solved. I already solved it. The Roottrees are dead. The mystery begins here. Roottree Mania. The mystery will unlock once you finish The Roottrees are dead. Huh. Mystery is who killed the candy. Who ate the candy? Was there sabotage, plane sabotage when someone wanted the Willy Wonka candy factory? Also, because I'm starting a new game, I feel like I need to say this. Obviously, if you watch from other games, whatever. Sorry if I sound weird. I'm still getting over a sickness. I'm going to be guzzling cough drops throughout tonight in an attempt to just not cough. It's the best solution I have at this point. Let's go. I'm ready to solve things. The internet's best detective is here. Oh, that's not very long at all. December 6th, 1998.
The plane that crashed last night just outside of Pittsburgh is now known to have been a private jet of the Roottrees Corporation. Local aviation authorities have speculated, based on the pilot's final communication, that the winter storm and heavy winds played a significant role in the crash. On board were multiple family members, including corporate president Carl Roottree and his daughters, the Roottrees sisters, best known for their fashion lines and modeling careers.
They looked like models, I gotta say.
No survivors. Again, for those of you just joining us, the Roottrees are dead.
Oh, fuck. Aren't dead. Oh, that scared me.
I know it's late, but I'm guessing you've seen the news. In addition to dealing with the grief, the Roottree company's lawyers are scrambling.
I wasn't expecting, like, voices. I wasn't expecting voice acting. I thought I was literally just going to be shoved against a computer and told to solve a mystery, big nerd.
Everything's about to change. Anyone proven to be a blood relative is about to get much richer. I'm here to ensure everyone is accounted for.
Blood relative.
I've heard you're an expert at sorting out complicated family trees. A genealogy genie, as it were.
I try my best.
I'm going to give you a quick test. Pass, and I can promise you the job of a lifetime.
Oh, shit. Wait, Riot Girl? Alright, complete the family tree of the Roottrees sisters. Siblings are in birth order, oldest to youngest. Examine my evidence, search the internet for clues, fill in the names, fill in the occupations, fill in the photos. What? Already too much. I'm already overwhelmed. I already don't know where to begin. Okay. It's like a cork board. Alright, we're fine. We got different screens. What do we got? PC. Home. Notebook. Hints. Oh, there's a hint system. You know what? Guess who doesn't need hints? Ever. In life. Me. The old noggin's gonna get me through this game. The old noggin. Got milk picture, huh? What? Got milk? The person who hired you gave you this photo with a note attached. This was taken during the shoot for the Roottrees sisters' Got Milk ad. Remember those? I've tracked down a test photo from before they painted the fake mustaches on, which I thought would be more appropriate considering the circumstances. The ad's copy reads, "You might recognize our faces from the magazine you're reading, or you might recognize our name from the candy bar you're eating. Being a Rootree is a full-time job, but so is growing up. That's why the calcium found in milk is so important. Plus, you can't make chocolate without it." Big milk. Wanted kids to guzzle that cow milk. What does this do? Show photo items. Oh, so this groups some. Okay. List of names. This list was provided to you by the mysterious person. Oh, again, also, if it isn't already obvious in the first 5 minutes or so, I'm gonna be going very slow. Especially games with like this, I'm a very slow person. That sounds like I'm being critical of myself. No, I mean, I like taking things slow. I let it all slowly envelop. You know what? We're all having fun. We're just hanging out. We're just solving a mystery together, you know? Slowly enjoying the ambiance. Listen to some jazz. Solve a mystery or two. Fuck it. This list was provided to you by the mysterious person who showed up at your door. You'll need it to fill in the family tree. There are so many names. Oh my god. Should I read them? Does it matter? Probably not. Is there anything that stands out? No. Oh, there's a couple of Kellogg's. Is it of the of Kellogg's fame? Do the Roottrees and the Kellogg's get mixing brands? Does that make sense? All right, so men and women, great. So what? So I examine the evidence. Search the internet for clues. All right. Go to internet.com. Great. Let's look at the welcome text. Welcome to the Information Superhighway. Thanks for purchasing a new Cashew PC. Your PC is equipped with a 56K modem, which is fast enough to access any site on the World Wide Web, even those with high-resolution images. If you find anything interesting, be sure to print it out with your included high-end colored laser printer or burn a music CD to listen to later. If you want to revisit a search result, be sure to use Netscape Explorer's new history feature. Happy surfing, and remember, Cashew PCs are delicious. Cashew PCs are inedible. Do not try to eat your computer. Of course. You can create notes quickly by highlighting text with your mouse. Cool. Okay, so if it's 3 daughters, I mean, let's be real. 3 women with the last name Rootree. Now, someone named Candy Rootree, that's a little on the nose, yeah? That's a little too much. That sounds fake. You're part of like this candy conglomerate family, and someone along the line was like, let's name our daughter Candy. I smell foul play. I don't know how, but I do. Also, if it's 3 daughters. 3 daughters. I'm just going off... Okay, I'm going off vibes right now. 3 daughters born... They said they're what? Like, they're teens? So they were born in, like, the... like, mid to late 80s? You're probably not naming your daughter Gwendolyn, right? That's an old person's name. Candy, though. Carly. Carly is, like, a daughter name. So is Lauren. Margalite, though, no. That's an old lady's name. So you probably have, like, probably have a Carly. You probably got a Lauren. You got a, either, like, probably Samantha. Those are, like, mid to late 80s names. Just putting it out there. So how, how easy could this be? Could I just... Like, how... What do you mean? You're telling me I can't just type in... You're telling me I can't just put in Roottrees daughters and get the answer? How specific are we being about this all, huh? You discover a trivia page that lists common trick questions. The answer to what are the first names of the famous Roottrees girls lists the answer Raina, Carly, and Riley. We already... Oh my god. The explanation below the answer states that Rose was originally born Carly Rose Roottrees. Apparently her parents had planned to name a son Carl Roottrees Jr., but after finding out they were having a second daughter, they called her Carly. Sometime in the sometime in the early 90s, now preteen Carly strongly expressed her dislike that her sisters had names and she was the odd one out. That's when she began to go by her middle name. Already, I've cracked this. I've cracked open like just wide open. Rose was originally born Carly Rose. Apparently her parents had planned to name a son. After finding out they were having a second daughter, they called her Carly. So the middle child, by this second paragraph, is Carly Rose Roottrees. Doom ba doom boom boom doom. Now, does it want me to put Carly? Carly states that her was originally born. We're not going by what you want to be called. Apparently her parents had planned to name Carl. So then she ended up going by the middle name Rose. But is there a Rose? There's not going to be a Rose in here, right? They're going to be specific about this. There we go. Middle child. Easy. Did I spell it wrong already? This is where we learn. This is where we learn my spelling is really bad. I'm very bad at spelling, especially fake names. There are a lot of obituaries that focus on the Roottrees sisters' modeling careers. You also come across an unofficial Roottrees fan site seemingly curated by a teenager. It's neon pink with purple text and hard to read until you highlight the words. The young webmaster writes, Raina is the most famous because she's the oldest and got married to TMS. But Riley is a smart one. Rose is a middle child like me. You might think they're rich just because they're models, but their dad is also the president of the candy company, and their mom, Brenda, is a fashion designer. They do the modeling for her brand, Root. Alright, well, we know fan sites are like the most accurate thing you could ever find on the internet, so... Oh, shit, there's more. I eat root tree candy all the time. My favorite are maple crisps and try to dress in plaid root clothes like Riley does in most of the posters. Someday I want to get my ears pierced like Rose. Website's author continues to talk about her own life and what she likes about the root fashion lines, but none of it is relevant. Okay. So easily we've already got Raina is the oldest. I've like I am so smart. Don't mind the fact that that's probably very tutorial, like they give you the softball eat first, you know? Don't worry about it. Occupations. Well, they're all kids. So, what do you mean? What do you mean occupations? They're kids. What kind of president? They're president. You might think they're rich because they're models. Riley is a smart one. I mean, this said TMS. Maybe a Sheridan? Thomas Sheridan? Let me look through these occupations. Actor, advertising, architect, artist, author, baby. That's not an occupation. Right? Cashier, CEO, chef, comedian, construction, dancer. Oh, there's so much we could say it's not, right? Media mogul? Model? Technically, if you own... I mean, if I just put model... Brenda runs the brand Root. Am I then going to say that they're all models? They're all doing milk ads. They're probably not students. This famous family probably pulled them out of public school so quick. All right, let's think about this. I don't think we have to be so I don't think we have to think too hard about this. I think that's easy. Now, let me look at... Am I going to try to determine age just by facial features? You don't have any portraits available to add to the family tree. To get started, click on Faces on your Evidence tab. Ah. Who looks the oldest? I feel like I'm not... I shouldn't... Are we gonna... Can I get, like, pictures? I'm conflicted, right? I'm a very vibes-based detective. You know what I mean? I'm very smart. Okay, so I talked about it earlier. I went back to the... I didn't really watch it, but I went back to some of the comments in the Oberdin. People really liked my way of solving things. You know what? Again, give myself a bit of credit. I was on top of things. And that was a lot of vibes based. You know what? You're right. I shouldn't deny my vibes based detectiving. Do what's got you to this point. You know what I mean? Do what's got you to this point. Am I gonna get pictures on this internet? What if I just type in pictures? I don't think I can get picked. Well, it said the internet said it would give me. This face looks the oldest. I know she wasn't the tallest. If I go back to this, I mean, one of these looks the oldest. This one looks the youngest, even though she's like, she's got some height on the sisters. I can't tell. I'm really bad. And it's an art style. I don't know. Again, I could guess, but I feel like I shouldn't be guessing. Just like in Oberdin, if I lock in something, I want to have definitive reason as to why I'm trying it. You know what I mean? I think that makes for a funner experience for everyone involved. Who looks... How would I find... How would I find... Oh my god, there's a Game Boy. Stop. It's right, girl. I wonder if there's like any hints around the room. I wonder if it's that type of game. It probably isn't this type of game. That's just the evidence. I'm just seeing what's available to me, you know? I'm just seeing what's available. Don't worry about it. I'm trying to think what could I search the internet for that would give me pictures? I don't know how to type. I never went to typing school. I feel like I'm not getting... I don't think the computer wants to give me pictures. But then I'm left thinking... Everything is against me. The story of my fucking life. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Which of these looks like they would want to change her name? Her name would be Carly, and she wouldn't want to go by that. Who looks like that, huh? Again, going on vibes. Middle child. Who's got that middle child syndrome face? Okay, you know what? I should go off of just vibes. I wonder if this is like Oberdin, where it only is going to tell me if I get it right. I'm very curious. I'm going to stick with my gut. You look the oldest. You look like, just based on face, you look middle. And you look like the youngest. Woo! There's no way I just got that right. Is the game just being nice to me? Would it have told any of the faces I got right? There's no way. There's no way I just predicted. Just based on looks that I was like, oh, that looks... Okay, so 3 of 50 blood relatives. These 3 entries are correct and have been locked. You've also locked the following optional entries. None. Booyah. Booyah, it says. You know what? Never mind. I'm the best detective. I'm back on being the best detective path. Oh, the knocking is startling me.
Sorry to test you, but I had to be sure you could use the internet. Some folks refuse to get with the times.
I barely can use the internet.
Safe to say, you're hired.
Ma'am, I have something to tell you. I am the best detective. Your test was nothing put in front of me.
The reward for untangling the family tree is substantial. Life-changing, even.
I'm a fucking detective god.
The Roottrees go way, way back. The family tree's a bit daunting. Most people freak out the first time they see the whole thing. But I'm sure you'll be fine. The man who started it was particular about whom he considered family. For your purposes, you only need his direct blood relatives. Anyone related only by marriage is optional, but filling them in can lead to
I'll get everything.
Discoveries.
I'm gonna chart the world, don't worry, ma'am.
Lastly, you now have access to some unique websites, plus a list of notable Roottrees.
Notable. Can I commune with the dead, by any chance?
Notable people are easy to find via your search engine, and marked with stars on the family tree. I'm off for now. Carl Roottree had a lot in his office. I'll look for anything useful. I'll return once you identify 6 more blood relatives.
Yes, ma'am. Now get away from my... Oh, what the hell? Ah!
Sorry, one last thing. This might sound odd, but if anyone else claiming to represent the Roottrees reaches out...
Punt them. Beat them with the phone here.
I'd appreciate you not mentioning I was here. Thank you.
Oh,
Good
shit.
luck.
Intrigue. Intrigue. We got... Oh, my God. Screw finding out the family tree. I just want to know what's going on here. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh my God. 3 out of 9 before the person who hired you returns. Every time you get 3 additional blood relatives in the family tree completely correct, name, occupation, portrait, they will be locked in. Okay, so it is like Oberdin then, exactly, almost. All non-blood relatives and small portraits are optional, but placing them in the tree helps remove extra names and photos, of course. What the hell is this? You can open this envelope after the whole family tree has been filled in. It has 2 names that must be typed in manually. Huh? The clues are obscure, have been intentionally hidden in the past, and may even require some leaps in logic. Try to keep an eye out for any inconsistencies. What the fuck? What does this mean? Oh. Thanks, game. Well. Alright, I'm gonna be honest, though. I'm almost for sure that a Thomas Sheridan, if there's shortened, if that on that blog post it was like TMS, it's gonna be Thomas something Sheridan, the oldest sister, married. That just seems... It would be kind of cruel if that was some kind of red herring or a false lead here. So I'm gonna immediately knock out that. Just gets it out of the way, I guess. What is this? You don't have any portraits available to add to the family tree. To get started, click on face on your evidence. Okay, well, I don't know what... This is a pet? Animal? Dog? Cat? Rabbit? Can't wait to find out. 5 pieces. Roottrees 5 pieces. This is an advertisement for 5 pieces aimed at kids from the magazine Teen Blast. It mentions that the 5 pieces were named as such because the original creator had 5 children. Huh? The ad also mentions that the current 5 flavors are not the same as back then. Intuition. You've been in this line of work a long time. So long, in fact, you developed a sixth sense for how useful your evidence can be. The numbers of the magnifying glass refer to how many clues are connected to a specific piece of evidence. The higher the number, the more there is to find! Exclamation point! At the start of your search, the notables list sets off alarm bells. List of famous people that you can find via search engine. It's pretty rare to get something that useful. Best take advantage of it. As you progress, these numbers will change. Whenever you find more evidence or lock in family members, new discoveries will be added to the list, and old evidence will become less useful. Trust your intuition. If a piece of evidence seems too good to be true, take a closer look at the people or phrases it mentions. Often the most satisfying revelations come from retracing a path you thought was fully explored, armed with a new perspective. Sometimes the reason certain evidence has such high value is because it can lead to finding more evidence. You may be missing a huge piece of the puzzle. Cool chocolate, so strawberry, powered plum, awesome apple, bad blue raspberry. That's a good name. There's 5 flavors because the original inventor had 5 kids. Radical new flavors because it's no longer the 1920s. What even is an elderberry? No one knows what an elderberry is. Okay. The Roottrees sisters and their parents died in a plane crash on December 6, 1998. The next evening, a shadowy figure appeared at your door and said the lawyers were looking to sort out the family tree. After a quick test, the figure gave you access to some resources clueless to noble Roottrees who said they would be the easiest family members to place. They said they would return in the time it took to fill out 6 more blood relatives. It's me. Sorta. This is a list of notable Roottrees. The person who hired you gave you this list and said everyone on it could be found easily via your search engine. 35. Carl, Elias, and Gwyn, Red, Jim, Lauren, and Miracle Jr. Any entry on the family tree that belongs to someone on this list will be marked with a star. Notable Roottrees will be crossed out after they are verified and locked. Periodicals. I guess I'm going to be reading. Carl Roottree died in the recent plane crash along with his wife Brenda Roottree and their daughters, the Roottree sisters. He was the president of the Roottree Candy Company as well as the clothing company Root, which he co-founded with his wife. There's a short press release that the Roottree Candy Company released today to news organizations. It is with a heavy heart that we mourn the loss of Carl, Brenda, and the Roottree sisters, and the other employees that perished in the terrible tragedy. The entire Roottree family is in shock and requesting privacy at this time. As the head of our company, Carl was an incredible man and an unmatched leader. Filling his absence will be difficult and may take considerable time. In the interim, we hope that you'll join us in looking back fondly on Carl and his family's triumphs and accomplishments. They go on to list some of those accomplishments. One of them seems relevant to your search. Like his great-grandfather before him, Carl earned the highly prestigious Watchman of the Year title. Huh. Huh. Okay, so let's just... Okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves too much. That will be Cornwell. Why did I say Cornwall? Was there a Cornwall? The Carl. Yeah? Carl. Carl. The baby, is, you know, he's, Main Candyman. But I like scrolling. I like having my hand just on a mouse. Now the problem... What is this music? This is a Halloween-y type music. Boom, 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 boom. Now, wait, so... Yeah, I noticed the typing thing. I assume it's just, like, yeah. That's cool, though. I'll probably use that at some point. He's not CEO then, right? He's a president. But they want, like, a number? I mean... He wouldn't be first. Is it just as easy as going first, and then probably like second, and then third, and then fourth? Well, let's put it like this. Assuming the game isn't... Well, it goes up to fifth. Wouldn't he be the most recent president if he died and he was president? Is it a false fifth number? Or is the game being kind and saying there's been 5 presidents, and so obviously he'd be the 5th if he was the most recent and he died? Okay, so they're going by maiden names. Good to know. For the future. Okay. Now, how would I get his picture? Carl? How would I find a picture? Huh. I feel like I'm I feel like I'm thrown off by this music. There's something about it that's like putting me on edge. Okay, so I don't think I can... I have to get like actual... Mixed in with the recent news of the plane crash, there are a lot of results for Roottrees' extremely popular candy products. Their official website is unstable due to the traffic it has been receiving. However, you find a direct link to the history section that manages to work momentarily. Roottree Candy Company was founded by Elias Roottree shortly after he married his wife Gwyneth, whose family owned a small farm called the Anderson Maple Farm. Oh, their name's already here. But wait. What? Don't fuck with me, game. It probably would be the OG. You would probably... It was Anderson, right? Yeah. Yeah. For reasons that aren't explained on the page, it has no CEO and no stockholders. Instead, it's run by a president with input and votes from extended family. Site does mention that every president has been a direct descendant of Elias and Gwyneth, including Carl Roottrees, who despite his death is listed as the current president. Product that put them on the map were 5 pieces, maple candies with 5 different flavors. They're dipped in a crispy, crackly candy coating. Since then, they have branched out to countless other products, all of which incorporate maple in some way. Their sister company, simply titled Root, specializes in children's clothing. The primary models for Root are the Roottrees sisters. How the hell? How the hell do I get pictures? I need pictures. Get me more milk advertisements of old people. I'm gonna say you're probably the first president. Is there like a, what was it, farm? Maple farm? The family owned a farm. Does that mean that she would be a farmer? Is that a bit of a stretch? I mean, probably more likely than pro athlete. Huh. There's so much. How do I get pictures? I'm trying to think. I'm thinking. Okay, new idea. New idea. What is it? Give me. You find some in. Oh shit! Something was printing. You find some information on a website for the first Anderson Maple Farm. There are a few pictures, including a famous picture of. Sorry to get so excited. Including a famous picture of Elias and Gwyneth. That photo was added to your evidence. Smooth. Before marrying Elias, Gwyneth Roottrees was Gwyneth Anderson. She had no brothers. So as the oldest sister, she had to inherit the Anderson Maple Farm as long as she married. She was to inherit it as long as she married. Before Elias took over, the farm produced only syrup. It was supposedly Elias' idea to create candy instead. Their success was not immediate until they decided to combine the maple with other flavors. This led to 5 pieces which are still found in stores to this day. Sounds disgusting. I'm just gonna throw it out there. Though the Roottrees Candy Company expanded well beyond their original farm, it has been preserved as a tourist attraction. According to their website, there are still daily demonstrations, educational tours that show off many of the turn-of-the-century appliances that Gwyneth would have used as a housewife in the early 1900s. Oh my god! Look at that face! Just look at it. This is a famous picture of Elias and Gwyneth Roottrees. It was taken in 1909 after they founded the Roottrees Candy Company, but before it was a success. From what you found searching the internet, it seems quite difficult to find any site about Elias or Gwyneth that isn't accompanied by this picture. Elias and Gwyneth are on the notable Roottrees list in your evidence. They will be marked on the chart with a star. Alright, give me those faces. Give them. Lock it in, I guess. So how am I going to get a picture of Carl, eh? Picture of Carl is needed. I think it's always going to be easiest to, like, expand probably from here, right? Well, why would I go over here and try to find some random-ass thing over here? Family trees use surnames from birth, even if the person changed the last name after marriage. Always use a person's most recent occupation. Thanks, game. Is there any other helpful advice that I can see on this? No. Great. Ooh, I like this, though. I like this track. It's fucking lo-fi beats to match family trees to. Alright. Carl. I need a picture of Carl so bad. How would I find a picture? Let me see. I found a picture, but... I mean... I did something... I guess it just gets auto-added. I don't have to actually... I just kind of like how stanky this beat is. Alright, if I'm thinking I need a picture of Carl. How would I get a picture of Carl? Carl. If I just type Carl. Yeah, that's what we already had. How? Picture of Carl. I need a picture of Carl so bad. Like, my brain is like, well... Picture of Carl. I'm thinking. I mean, I know we're less than an hour into this, but this is exactly the moment where I had the same thing in Oberdin, where I'm like, is it fun to watch me just hem and haw and just stare at the screen? Like, I always wonder, like, what? I mean, I'm not questioning, and I appreciate it, but I'm like, you're gonna see me just stare at this for a long time, wondering how to get a picture of a man. Carl, I need a picture of you. But I don't think I can just type in random words, though, right? Like, this game seems to, like... I think I should be, like... It's not... what's the game that I'm thinking of that where you would just type in any word and then it's, like... You would get, like, a bunch of hits. What game am I thinking of? Another deduction kind of, like, game that I definitely played because I remember... No, not Cryptmast. No, there was like a game where it was like, God, it's gonna bug me. It's definitely something I played where like it was something where you had to type into a search. Oh, a game like Telling Lies, the FMV game. So like you would always type in, even I guess not like Immortality, but like Telling Lies or Her Story, where basically you type in a word and it basically pulls up all the FMV video files that have that word in it. So you would basically be like, you would type in, for example, school here, and then like anytime that character said school, it would be a database of all the videos where any character said school. And so that's how you find like all the clips. That was a fun experience. And so that's what my brain is thinking, where I'm like, I'm just trying to type in something and I would think like I would pull up any like document that would have the word school in it. But I don't think that this is what this is doing. I think it wants it to be a bit more hyper specific, probably. Which makes for a better mystery solving, but it's overall a bit harder. I'm just trying to think what would produce a picture of Carl. Because we were given this one. And then I got this by typing in the thing. And I've already typed in Carl. Oh. So it gives you the word. Okay, so I must have typed that in and then it just gives you. Let's just, well, we're getting more pictures. You find some information on a website about old films that are not yet available on VHS. Site is not very well organized. And search is broken, but you can get to individual pages from your search engine. Gwen Roottrees is a somewhat well-known actress who was active in the 50s. She often appeared in tabloids, especially around the time of her highly publicized divorce. Her biggest role was the minor hit movie Guys Like Us. She left Hollywood after the flop of Christmas Mission. There's a widely circulated picture of Gwen from behind the scenes on one of her movies, which you've added to evidence. Did you know trivia? Gwen was granddaughter of Elias Roottree, the founder of Roottree Candy. She couldn't have been named Roottrees, but her father took her mother's famous name, which was quite rare in those days. Gwen. The granddaughter of Elias. This photo is a widely circulated photo of Gwen Roottrees. See on multiple websites about old films. Gwen Roottrees is on notable Roottrees list. Might as well just go through all these. You find information on a website about strange historical facts. Oh boy. Aloysius Herring Roottree, aka Red. That seems like red herring. Was an appointed judge and politician who earned his nickname ironically because he was the ambassador to Ireland for only about 6 days. He served what some people contend is the shortest term in history. A few days after he was appointed, he was heard disparaging his position and the Irish people. He then tried to run for state senate. He claimed to be a relative of the Roottrees Candy Company, a newspaper ad, but it came out that the last name was merely a coincidence and he was defeated in a landslide. Strange. Oh, shit. He got marked as a red herring. It's too good. James Roottrees is a singer who sings in the duo Jim and Diamond with his wife Diamond LaRue. The duo, according to many sources you find, is considered a one-hit wonder due to the disco song Rollin' On Down to the City. It's now in your evidence folder. Although Jim writes the majority of songs, plays the guitar, and often sings, Diamond is considered by fans to be the band's lead singer. The band never had another hit, but has its fans, who refer to themselves as Diamond's Dazzlers. The rest of their music is more folksy and acoustic than the one song they're known for. Jim and Diamond have continued to release music through the 80s and early 90s. Other albums you find mentioned are Cherry Tree and Sound of Laughter. Jim has become a bit of a recluse, and he hasn't made a public appearance since 1996. Author Lauren Roottrees, a distant relative to the Roottrees sisters, is known for her book A Life Between Wars. According to a website about famous authors, in the early 1960s, Lauren released a few romance novels under her married name, Lauren Rafferty, to little fanfare. When her publisher learned she had been keeping diaries about her famous family, they insisted she release them under her original name, Lauren Roottrees, to take advantage of her family's notoriety. In a section of diary entries released in 1965 as A Life Between Wars, spans from the untimely death of her husband in World War II to coping with the post-war world as a young widow and mother, as well as her perspectives on changing times and socialites all the way through the entry into Vietnam. While the content is not considered particularly relevant to modern audiences, it has found new life as an exercise in high school English classes to show an evolution in writing style for a look into life in previous generations. I don't know how exciting it is either to have me read all this, but I feel like if I don't read it, I'm doing a disservice to potentially missing stuff. So, too bad. After the success of her diaries, her publisher re-released her romance novels under the name Lauren Roottrees. This included Romance in Court, which gained popularity. She followed the re-release up by writing 2 new sequels, creating what fans refer to as the Court Jester series. You find no recent details about Lauren, though she's listed as retired. This game is 95% reading, knew it when you recommended it. Alright, fair enough. Then we're all good. Now what is I'm gonna guess Miracle Jr. is that's gotta be a pet. Miracle Jr. doesn't go by his full name in promotional materials. Instead, he's shortened to Miracle Jr. Miracle Jr. is a televangelist. Oh boy, who is part of the Miracle Network. Oh, he used to have a show that aired on local access across many stations in the northeastern United States. According to a website called Clergy Watch, he was exposed and subsequently charged with conspiracy to defraud the public in 1979 when he claimed to heal someone in a wheelchair. Classic. A news expose revealed it was his wife Edith's sister in a disguise. The author also mentions that Edith had a bit of a checkered past herself, but doesn't clarify. He has since lost his television show and instead goes on tour across the southern United States, where he is not well known before the scandal. Great. Also, let me try something. What happens if I do this? Oh, I have to type in an actual, okay. Damn it, okay. Oh, look at this! This is amazing! I get to play it?
We're rolling on down to the sea.
This is funky. Oh, what if there's like a hint in the music? That would be so funny. Wait, the lyrics are on the right? To say that I'm pretty, ladies blush and find me so witty. They're out of luck tonight, what a pity. We're rolling on down to the city. I think we gotta listen to the whole thing. Again, I'm doing a disservice to everyone if we don't. Wheels we glide, with you by my side. Inflation is rising, but so is our pride. Pick our own fate, make love, not hate. Fight overseas, but we'd rather skate. All rush to say that I'm pretty. Ladies blush and find me so witty. They're out of luck tonight, what a pity. We're rolling on down to the city. I'm coughing too much. I gotta go with what I have. Politicians at large are hopeless. The bankers in charge are all clowns. But parties sell better than protests. So sign ups while we boogie down. to say that I'm pretty. Ladies blush, find me so witty. They're out of luck tonight, what a pity. We're rolling, rolling, rolling on down. I tried. Rolling on down. I'm gonna mute myself and just... Terrible. I hate coughing. Rolling on Down the City was barely a top 20 hit for a few weeks in 1979. It's a nice disco protest song. Look at that. I know, I almost died. I'm dying to play The Roottrees Are Dead for you guys. I hope I'm appreciated during my time, you know? According to the liner notes, it satirizes how a part of society was content to remain indifferent to economic inflation and civil unrest in the Middle East, unless pop culture tricked them into caring. Somewhat ironically, listeners don't seem to pay attention to the lyrics enough to trick them into caring. Instead, most of its play came from roller discos. Because it was such a product of its time, it doesn't get much play anymore, even on stations that play oldies. Maybe that's why you've never heard of it before now. This image is from an auction for a sealed copy. It has a sticker that says, "Only the great-grandson of Elias Roottree could make disco this sweet." It is credited to Peter Janowitz from MMM. Music and lyrics by Jim, vocals by Jim and Diamond. Jim Roottree is on the notable Roottrees list in your evidence will be marked on the chart with star. Lyrics of the song contain no clues. Oh, the game. Fair enough. I specifically said it would be cool if there were, like, clues in the lyrics. That's really fun, though. That was fun. That was a fun experience. So, they're notable. Jim is notable. Jim is the great-grandson of Elias. Great-grandson. This is where I start going like, great-grandson. Like son, grandson, great-grandson. Right? that line of thinking. Uncle, aunt, great-grandmother twice removed. Okay, well, I still need a picture of Carl. So how am I going to find a picture of Carl, huh? I'm trying to think. What have we got? We gotta get Carl. Picture of Carl. For marketing materials on various candy history sites, you learn that 5 pieces are iconic candy sold by the Roottrees Candy Company. Although they are no longer the company's only popular product, they still sell well to this day. 5 pieces are small, colorful, shell-coated maple candies that, since the late 20s, have been pressed in the shape of a maple leaf, although they usually have one flavor that looks more like a berry. As tastes have changed over the years, so the 5 flavors, but the shape in combination with maple has remained consistent. There's also a history of print advertising website that claims to have a 5-piece advertising scan from a book called The Sweet History of Candy Volume 2 by Charles Lee. Unfortunately, when you click through to the website, it seems like all their image links are broken. So what if I do this, huh? Can I control V this? Haha! Published in 1985, hardcover. This is a part of a book series about all things candy in the modern world. It starts in 1925 and continues onward to chronicle the rise of mass production, global distribution. Book ends with a look into the future of candy as envisioned by experts in 1985. With the addition of hindsight, you can clearly see they got pretty much everything wrong. It includes some print advertisements. You find a newspaper ad for 5 pieces from the 1930s added to the evidence. Found this advertisement in this. Right. 6 years after the debut. Safe the flavors is inspired by their children, and the order is grape, elderberry, cinnamon extract, melon, and the newest flavor, miracle berry. What do you mean inspired by their children? Huh. Oh, is it their middle initials? Is that what those middle initials were there for? It's a miracle. Modern candy for modern society. Roottrees 5 pieces. Contains 5 different maple-infused flavors. Proud family business. Flavors inspired by our children. G, grape. E, elderberry. C-E is for cinnamon extract. M is for melon. And introducing M for miracle berry. Miracle berry is a burst of beautiful blossoming blended berries. Beautiful blossoming blended berries. Okay, so let me... So I was like, oh, so the lie is like C and M, maybe. But I mean... I'm getting distracted, though. I need a picture of Carl. Why is finding a picture of Carl so difficult? I bet I will get a picture of Carl before the night is over. You know, if I was like completely... Like, couldn't I just search like a bunch of these names? Like, what if I just went like... Okay. Never mind. Let me look at this thing again. Let me just take a look around. What do we got going on, huh? What do we got going on? What do we got going on? All right, Carl. So it tells you what produced evidence, I see. I never know if it's because of the way the name is ordered or not. Thinking. Miracle berry. Maple. Maple. What if I type in like Root? The period is part of the name. Is a clothing company. They make clothes for children from toddlers to teenagers. Although their website is down, likely due to increased web traffic, you find countless retail sites attempting to advertise their clothes towards the target audience. One of them has this to say: "You've spied the Roottrees sisters looking hella fly in catalogs, magazines, and posters. Now you too can look like Riley, Rose, or Raina." We also come across a website from a collector of clothing catalogs. Apparently, Root has released 2 catalogs per year, every year since 1984. Raina appeared on almost all of them. There's only one that the webmaster considers a collector's item enough to mention. It seems that Brenda Roottree, the Roottrees sisters' mother and Root's head designer, appeared on one cover holding her daughter Rose in 1985. The site says that this was the only time her daughter was ever listed with her birth name, Carly Roottree. You stumble across an auction for a black and blue dress that's a Brenda White original. The auction describes it: a vintage dress from before Brenda became Brenda Roottree and started designing clothes for Root. The white and gold dress itself doesn't seem relevant to your search. Yeah. 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 Begging who? The gods? I've used up all my begging to the gods in my life. Unfortunately. To the duck? Oh. You almost made me click it without remembering that it was a hints thing. No, we're not using hints! I'll die before I use a hint, alright? I got this. Business Watch magazine is a magazine focused on companies, CEOs, and the economy. Been around for over 100 years in one form or another, and will and will often write about major changes in management at famous companies. Every year they offer an award to a prominent businessman who has furthered the field. They call this Watchman of the Year. You find through a few searches that 2 Roottrees have been featured as Watchmen of the Year, Elias and Carl. Business Watch does not host any online archives on any site you can find via spider search, though you may be able to find individual articles and issues through your periodical search. Business Watch. Carl. Carl Roottrees was voted Watchman of the Year in 1987 for his work with Root. Cover and a summary of the article has been added to your evidence. Elias Roottrees was awarded Watchman of the Year in 1936 for his accomplishment of rolling out 5 pieces to a global market. Notes on the article and scans made of the cover been added to your evidence. Holy! Look at this man! Look at this man! He grabbed his life by the roots. Carl Roottrees was voted Watchman of the Year in 1987, and a photo of him appears on the cover. According to the cover, Business Watch is the magazine for and about corporate leaders and has ongoing coverage of who's who in the corporate world. Carl was chosen not for his work at Roottrees Candy, but rather a clothing company, Root. There's a brief history. Before they married, Carl's wife Brenda was a fashion consultant. When Raina was born, Brenda retired to become a stay-at-home mother. Looking for a creative outlet, she spent any free time she had at the sewing machine. Raina's new clothes were a hit with other parents, including Carl's cousin Jim Roottrees, a notable singer who had a young daughter, around the same age as Raina. Word spread. By 1982, Brenda's patterns were being copied by other brands. Seeing the demand, Carl and his second cousin Ernie Jr., who had just become president of Roottrees at the time, spearheaded Root. Other blood relatives who have a say in the company's finances refused to fund anything other than candy, so Carl personally spent his entire inheritance to bankroll the clothing company. When the profits began to appear, however, the rest of the family changed their tune. They repaid his investment, and now Root exists under the umbrella of the candy company, and they all benefit. Per tradition, or perhaps superstition, new clothes always debuted the way the first ones did. Raina became their catalog's cover model. As she grew, the product line expanded to older kids as well. Her younger sisters were then recruited to show off the baby clothes. Carl was voted Watchman of the Year primarily for his personal gamble and the ensuing payoff. Elias Roottrees was voted Watchman of the Year by Business Watch in 1936, and a painting of him appears on the cover. The magazine says he was voted Watchman of the Year specifically to recognize the global rollout of 5 pieces. Inside the article is a timeline of 5 pieces. In 1908, Elias forms the Roottrees Candy Company after marrying his wife, who inherited a maple farm. During the period before 5 pieces, the company is barely profitable. 1909, Elias has a daughter, the first of 5 children. 4 more follow, leading to 1922. Elias invents 5 pieces. Each of the 5 flavors chosen based on the initials of his 5 children, 1 flavor per child. 1924, 5 pieces are first sold in some Pittsburgh markets. 5 pieces are rolled out to all of New England. New recipe and flavors finalized, and the candy begins nationwide distribution in department stores and other shops everywhere. Roottrees Candy Company purchases every available maple farm in Pennsylvania in preparation for their global rollout. With the help of his son Elias Roottrees Jr.'s architectural firm, a new industrialized factory and warehouse were built in Butler County. Production is tripled and worldwide distribution begins. There's also a what's next section that claims Elias is going to pivot to ensuring his company's legacy and that the Roottrees Candy Company remains a family business. He plans to do this with the Clanced Trust. Clanced Trust. The Clanced, pronounced Clanced Trust, is a highly unusual corporate arrangement named after Clancy Edward Roottrees, who was Elias's son and the Roottrees Candy Company's head lawyer at the time. Oh boy. There's so much. There's so many ties and things to. My head is spinning at the moment. Due to its unique nature, it's often brought up in online discussion about financial matters and inheritance as an oddity. Company mandates that a fixed percentage of its profits are split every quarter amongst bank accounts representing each direct relative of Elias and Gwyneth. An account is created for each blood relative at birth and first accessible when they reach 18. The actual numbers have never been fully disclosed to the public, but due to the ever-increasing success of the company and a significant amount of money, Lancet Trust is known for being essentially impossible to get around due to many checks and balances written into it. Still, there have been a few situations in which family members have tried to forcibly remove another member from the trust. Most details online are pretty vague since the matters are handled internally. The only information you discover is from a university law school, which apparently had a guest lecture talk about the Roottrees versus RR in 1994. While looking into the Clancy Trust, you often find mentions to the 5-piece guarantee, which went into effect at the same time. Hi! The 5-piece guarantee, in combination with the Clancy Trust, are Elias Roottrees' attempt to ensure that the Roottrees Candy Company would remain a family business for eternity. In isolation, it's somewhat baffling. The yearly salary of Roottrees' president is always locked to the price of a single pack of 5 pieces. Okay. When the 5-piece guarantee went into effect, this was 25 cents a year. Now it's closer to $4. Combined with the Clancy Trust, however, it makes a bit more sense. Elias wanted to ensure that only his direct relatives could afford to be president, and he knew that because their passive income was tied to the profits of the company, they would have a vested interest in keeping the company as profitable and successful as possible. Sure. Whether or not this was a smart or successful decision is widely debated both online and in person by economics enthusiasts of all levels of expertise. You find very few details about this particular incident with regards to the Clancy Trust. A student that attended a lecture about it wrote the following on a legal oddities website. From what you can tell, RR attempted unsuccessfully to remove a fellow family member from the trust. It was said that RR attempted 2 arguments. First, the person in question was born out of wedlock, and second, they committed a significant crime against a fellow family member. Still, due to this ironclad wording of the Clancy Trust, it was impossible to remove any direct descendant of Elias Roottrees without completely dissolving the trust. There's no additional information online. Legal oddities. I mean, would that be a thing to search by any chance? Damn. Okay. Okay, cool. I'm gonna... Yep. Lock in. Now, hold on just a second. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, we're so fucked. Oh, we're so fucked. We're so fucked. We're so fucked. Everyone, panic! Panic, everyone! Panic! Alright, let me look at some of these jobs things again. Actor, advertising, architect, artist, baby. I mean, I want to be CEO. Oh no. Oh no. So how did I fuck up? I mean, it's got to be this. Well, no, it doesn't have to. What did I do? Okay, let me think. This is definitely a picture. Okay, well, let's be smart about this, right? We definitely have The picture's correct. The pictures are correct. You can't tell me. You can't tell me that the pictures are wrong. And we have definitely the names correct too. And if it's 3 that get locked in, then the thing that is wrong is going to be the occupations. No, I didn't consider that. Come on now. Let's set that back. Maybe she wasn't a farmer. Did she actually work on the farm? The whole thing was about like... Let me... She had no brothers, so as the oldest sister, she was to inherit the Anderson Maple Farm as long as she married. Before Elias took over, the farm produced only syrup. She wasn't doing farm work. Maybe it's that. Maybe I'm thinking I just stuck farmer. Would it just be housewife? Oh! Of course she didn't dirty her hands. She didn't... Oh my god, I'm so good. I've also locked the following optional entries. Brenda White and Thomas Sheridan. So good. So good. I'm so good. I'm so good. Woo! 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 Another win for me. Another win on the board. Okay, so they actually lock in the optional ones. I actually thought they weren't going to lock in the optional names. So that's good to see. I love to see that. Now, what does this mean? Alternate photos. So, like, if I was to put... So if I wanted to put, like... Assuming then there's a second picture of our guy here. Interesting. I was wondering how that worked. Okay. All right. Now we go, where do we go from here? Now it's a very much, now we're in tricky territory. You probably want to go the 4 kids. No, 4 or 5. For the 5, we have a lot of the 5 candies, whatever the fuck they're called. But the problem is, I could put them here, but I don't know then exactly what position. Like, it feels like it's still probably... Because, like, a kid name here doesn't necessarily mean... Like, I could get the 5 names, but I don't know where... Shit. Okay. Okay. So... Okay. Okay, so Gwen. Roottrees. granddaughter of Elias. And it says it'll have a star. So it's gonna be the star. Those are big hints. 1, 2. How many more stars do we have? 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we know, and it's granddaughter. So it's definitely. Oh well, it's not gonna be this one. Okay, we've eliminated one. Granddaughter would be here, here, here. Granddaughter to Elias. Granddaughter of Elias. She shouldn't have been named Roottrees, but her father took her mother's famous name. So the mother... The father took the mother's name. So if we're following the tree, if it was like here, this would be the mother. Or here. Or here. Mother's names. Mother Roottrees. Let's try to eliminate. Jim. Miracle. Televangelist. I'd already done this, right? Oh yeah, it's author, distant relative of the Roottrees sisters. Distant relative to the sisters. Well, I mean, distant. That could be in any direction, right? I don't know how words work. Under her married name. Nah. Yeah. 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 You don't find any copies or excerpts from her life between wars on Spire Search. You do find that because the diary has been reprinted recently for schools, available in a lot of libraries. Oh, duh, of course. Shit. Hold up. Don't yank my leg. You don't find any. You do find that because the diary's been reprinted, it's available in a lot of libraries. Right. Right. I need. Am I dumb? Oh, romance novels under this name. I feel like I gotta figure this out. I gotta figure out what I'm doing wrong here. I'm going to. I keep doing the capital A thing. Did I type an XS onto the end? I shouldn't have to type anything. You know what? Don't even worry about it. You know why? Because I was thinking Roottrees. Multiple root tree. Whatever. Published 1965, student edition, hardcover, republished, nonfiction. Seems you've hit the jackpot here. This is a book occasionally taught in schools. You even find a hardcover edition for students that has full-page, high-quality pictures in it. A summary of the contents of the book, photos, as well as some particular relevant entries from the diary have been added to your evidence. Lots of things. Before I go to that, I'm gonna also try to find some of this other shit. So like something like this. Softcover fiction, romance novel. About the author blurb mentions she gets the inspiration from one of her brother Clancy's lectures on the Middle Ages. Oh, look, brother thing. Okay. Okay. Death of her husband. Court jester. Romance in court. Romance and Court is a book by Lauren Roottrees. It is the first and most famous of a series of 3 books, often called the Court Jester series. All 3 books in the series are about different romances, but told via the same narrator. You can probably surmise the narrator's profession. The 2 other books are called Return to Court and The New Romance in Court. Searching for them online yields few results. The books had some popularity when they were released in the late 60s. Now, 30 years later, they aren't in high demand. I'd assume that just searching the web for these, it says few results, so I think that's intentional. But if I take Lauren returns to the Middle Ages with the last chapter in the Court series. The About the Author blurb mentioned she had the inspiration from one of her brother Clancy's lectures on the Middle Ages. Okay, well, what was the last one? I might as well get Lauren Roottrees' follow-up to Romance in Court, the About the Author... Oh wait, did I already do that one? Romance. Romance in Court. Okay. Fuck it. Fuck it! Oh, what is all this? Oh. Holy shit. Okay. The below are notes and observations you made while skimming through Lauren Roottrees' diary pages in A Life Between Wars. Lauren Roottrees on the notable Roottrees list. Should be marked on the chart with a star. The book was published in 1965 and consists of diary entries that stretch from 40 to 65. The most important events that much of the diary and Lauren's thoughts revolve around was the loss of her husband, Jacob. Jacob died in the final months of World War II while Lauren was pregnant. This left her to raise her son Clark alone. Lauren never remarried and only had 1 child. By skimming the page of the diary, you glean the following information. She was a granddaughter of Elias and Gwyneth on her father's side. She was a granddaughter of Elias and Gwyneth on her father's side. Yes, her mother's family was called the Cossells, but she hardly ever mentions them. Her father, who she always refers to as Pop, was the head lawyer for the Roottrees Candy Company and helped write a legal document called the Clancy Trust. Okay, there's a lot going on here. There's a lot. An entry entitled Complaints from Lauren Roottrees' diary, written in 1953. This entry seems to focus specifically on one of Lauren's family members, Gwyn, who is in the notable Roottrees list. This entry seems to focus specifically on one of Lauren's family members. Okay, so that would mean... Seems everyone has something to complain about. Gwyn, as an only child, complained of loneliness. I told her that being expected to watch after 3 younger brothers didn't feel like a blessing, but it fell on deaf ears. Huge. Huge. Only child. Gwyn. Let me make, before I lock this in, let me make sure I've got the name right, because I don't need like an egg on my face. Now here's the scary part. She was an actress. But then she retired. She quit. And it says, this game specifically said, what's their most recent thing? Did she get a job after being an actress that the game is going to want me to find? That's tough. That's tough. But we'll put that for right now. A soft lock-in right now. So it seems everyone has something to complain about. Gwyn, as an only child, complained of loneliness. I told her that being expected to watch after 3 younger brothers didn't feel like a blessing, but it fell on deaf ears. Wait, I gotta ask something. Siblings are always in birth order. It's not just these 3, right? That's what this is telling me. That's huge. Now, I'm putting my hands up. Because with a combination of information of the stars and what we just read, show it on, here, let me see if I got, do I have the camera set up right now? I'm doing this. I'm doing like a lot of this. I took my hands off the mouse and I went like this. Little camera experience for you. Turning on the camera made me cough. So that's huge. 3 younger brothers. Star, 3 younger brothers. This has got to be her. Lauren. Now, what was the... What was the whole thing about her name? Under her married name. I see. So when she got married... she obviously changed her name. I get it. Okay, let's continue the evidence. During the summer, where I went to stay with her and Aunt Margot, I hoped she would be the sister I never had and that I'd do the same for her. I even tried to dye my hair blonde to fit in with the 2 of them. What a mess. But she just complained. To her, I was the lucky cousin. During the summer where I went to stay with her and Aunt Margot, I'm holding off. I'm being reserved. Hands back off the mouse. Now she's off living the glamorous life while I'm stuck here with Clark. I must admit, seeing her everywhere contributes to my unhappiness. Her visage stares at me even now from my coffee table. She gets to be in starlit and tell tales of how she gallivants around the world, kissing the likes of Harrison Lane and Wild Bill Williams. She's the first Roottrees woman to be anything other than a housewife, and I'm jealous. If I were a single mother, could I make my own way in this world? If I were not a single mother, I should say. She's stuck here with Clark. I would assume Clark is their child. Because obviously... he dies. They have a child. And it takes, obviously, the name of Rafferty from Jacob. But I'm off topic. A girl with all the luck in the world was jealous of me, and now, though I have been undoubtedly burdened by terrible tragedy, I'm also lucky to be born into a family that can support me for eternity. I can raise a child without worry, unlike countless other widows. If any of them were to hear me complaining, they would rightfully scoff just like I do at Gwyn. Right. An entry entitled Dynasty from Lauren Roottrees' diary, written in 1958, focuses on the day her grandfather Elias announced he would step down as president of the Roottrees Candy Company and the meeting to determine his successor. I wish I had been a fly on the wall today. Clancy told me that everyone got quite heated. Granddad was furious. None of his sons would take over as president, but that's what he gets for holding on to it so long. With architects, preachers, and lawyers, nobody's got time for candy. So with the 5 pieces refusing to step up, it came down to us next gens. So no one in the 5 pieces of the kids ended up becoming a president, according to this. Second president skipped that line. Pop argued at length that the company should stay with our branch of the family since we still have the Roottrees name. I'm not even sure Clancy would have wanted it, but he's the one who has volunteered. Can I just say... I was pausing because I thought I was going to cough. I apologize for that. I've said this during many times, but even during the Umineko playthrough, I love a good family drama. It's why I'm always told I would like a show like Succession or something, but I just don't have the time. But I love family drama, especially when it's like family drama of families that have so much resources to them, and then you just get the petty squabbling like this. It's so good. I love dissecting this shit, even though it's fictitious, you know? I digress. I'm not even sure Clancy would have wanted it, but he's the one who has volunteered. Clancy. Okay. Instead, it ended up going to Zach. Zach! Just a guy, Zach. Even though his surname doesn't match the candy, he's the firstborn son of the firstborn 5-piece. He's the firstborn son of the firstborn 5-piece. I'm not sure how that's relevant to running a company, but Granddad has always had very particular views when it came to his bloodline. So that's zoom out. Firstborn 5-piece, firstborn son. Zach. Oh. You piece of shit. We hold. I asked Clancy if it ever came up that a woman could take over. After all, Angie's older than Zach. But I'm next oldest of all of us all. Wait. No, wait. After all, Angie's older than Zach, and I'm next oldest of us all, but he just laughed. I'll never forget the cuss words Pop used when he told Ma it wouldn't go to us. Mother, ever the quick-witted, at least with catty remarks, countered back, maybe they wanted it to go to the only member of the family who looks like he samples the product. Okay. An entry entitled Sam from Lauren Roottrees' diary, written in 1963. From a previous entry, you learned that Elias Roottrees had given in to his wife and announced that Sam, an obscure relative, was to be included in family gatherings. Gwyneth had been pushing to include Sam for quite some time. Lauren writes, "Why Sam? I have so many distant relatives I've never met. After all, Granny had sisters and Granddad had a brother or two. But I was told, trim their branches from the family tree. So why is Sam special? Nothing adds up, and I'm not the only one to realize. Angie summoned all the next gens, oh that's cool, to a secret meeting in Zach's office. Gwen's in Paris, but the rest of us, including Miracle's boys, spent ages trying to unravel the mystery. I didn't recognize Sam at Uncle Junior's wedding to Patsy last year. There's so much, oh my god, there's so many names getting thrown around. At the reception, when I asked who Sam was, Pop shushed me and said it was complicated. Clancy swore he saw Sam working alongside the farmhands, EC and John, when he used to drive past the old Anderson farm on his way to work. Upon hearing that, Zach checked the records and managed to confirm all three are in the books. Eli, Miracle's youngest, not my brother, even chimed in. Apparently, when he was riding his mini bike alongside the farm a few weeks ago, Sam gave him some old tools and taught him how to make the bike's engine faster. None of us think that proper for a multitude of reasons, but Eli certainly seems thrilled. Okay. One of the final entries, called Clark, from Lauren Roottrees' diary, written in 1964. Clark's getting married, and, in my opinion, far too young. He's barely 18, for God's sake, and Danielle isn't much older. But openly confronting them would make me a hypocrite. After all, Jacob and I got married at 16. Clark, like the rest of his generation, is a free spirit. What else do you call a group of kids growing up with more money than any one person can spend? They all aspire to be musicians and artists and dancers and all sorts of nonsense. The only one who has any discipline is Carl, but that's because Pop forced Clancy to send him to the academy. Maybe I'm just getting old, but our generation was never so bad. My brothers all seemed to pursue paths of knowledge, and the most rebellious thing any of us ever did was to bring home someone who would be legal to marry if we lived anywhere south of Pennsylvania. Pop seems to have gotten over it because Edward is set to take over his department once he retires. And as for me, my first published book, Swashbuckle My Heart, is based on the pirate stories I used to invent with Jacob when we were walking in the woods after school. I think he'd be proud that Clark and I are carrying on his name. Even my cousins are doing well. Zach's not a bad present after all, and his sister seems to be doing a good job raising her twins. Gwen is Gwen, but at least she came out of the divorce with her head held high. She even told us she might come home next year so we can meet her kids. But the free spirits in any other family, they'd all end up on the streets, even Clark. Right. Yeah. What is this line? What does this mean? What's going on here? Bah. My first published book. So maybe it would be on the old name. Which is... out of print, no copies available. Re-released as X Marks the Spot. Huh? I almost typed an S again. Published 1974. According to the back of the book, this is a buried treasure by Lauren Roottrees and from the author of the Court series. It also says to keep an eye out for Lauren Roottrees' next book, revisiting the diary 10 years later. Releasing... Softcover first printing nonfiction. This was a version of Lauren Roottrees' diary released in 1975. Unlike the original diary, it contains no pictures, but has many new passages that reflect on her thoughts 10 years later. One major event happened between releases that changed Lauren's outlook on certain subjects, the death of Elias. A summary of the fallout has been added to your notes, as well as some other select pages. Great! God, she's got a wealth of things coming towards me. It's so much. Alright, we'll leave the revisiting for later. Hold on that. Here are the 5 pieces. Ah. Lauren, for real, the MVP of this game. So true. Let's go, Lauren! Thank you for your help. Lauren's diary contains some labeled pictures. This is the 5 pieces. Caption: this picture was famous in our house. Pop even had a frame. That's him on the left. Lauren's diary contains some labeled pictures. This picture was famous in our house. Pop even had it framed. That's him on the left. All right, so we're already got a face. All right, here we go. We're gonna start. We're doing this. Pop. Papadopoulos. That was that, yeah? Yeah. Great. It's easy. It was taken in 1935 to celebrate the move to the new warehouse that Eli Jr. designed. Angie and I both wanted to be in the photo since Miracle was in it and the 3 of us were all about the same age. We were told only the 5 pieces, which really didn't go over well, to say the least. Eventually, I suppose, to stop the tantrums, they posed us in front of the camera with Mr. I looked at the picture and lost where I was. A camera with Mr. Morden, who was there with Aunt Gwendolyn. I found out years later that they never even took a second photo. Oh, we got... I see. Okay. So that's Miracle. This one. They never even took the second photo. So... did we... Is there... Yeah, that's already just gonna be... Okay, so mostly a picture heavy thing, but we got photos of the 5, which is important. A photos heavy piece of evidence. Okay, I'm fine with that for right now. The next generation. Oh my god, there's so many pictures. Oh my god. I'm overstimulated. Lauren's diary contains some labeled pictures. This is the next generation. Caption: attempt to recapture the spirit of the 5 pieces photo with our generation. For old time's sake, we gathered on the warehouse floor. I wanted Eli to stand on the all the way on the left, since to me he looked a lot like Pop did in the old one. But I was outvoted by my brothers. They insisted the 4 of us stand together, and so we clumped up in the middle and let everyone filter in behind and in front of us. The only one too good to make an appearance was Gwen. Grandma insisted we include Sam, even if we didn't want to. None of us understood why, including Sam. I also didn't think it was fair Miracle made it in, since he's technically a 5-piece. I guess my inner child still holds a grudge, even after all these years. I like that tie. I like that rainbow tie. Okay, so these are the 4 that are clustered together, seemingly. Are the candies in... I'm thinking. I don't know about this. Donking. We wouldn't be... I don't know, man. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. That's fine. It's fine. Let's get into this. Let's just open up into this. Revisiting the diary. The new diary opens with an explosive incident that happened in the decade between the release and re-release of Lauren's diary. Elias Roottree had died, and during the reading of his will, there was an audible gasp when a certain name was read aloud: Samantha Roottrees, the Sam. Although Sam and her children were not meant to receive monetary inheritance, he had stipulation that she retain the rights to run the farm and any and all decisions related to it. Samantha. It was then that the scandalous secrets came out. None of the 5 pieces were surprised, but it was quite a shock to everyone else, including Sam. She had been told her parents died. Apparently, Sam was the illegitimate daughter of Elias Jr. and Patricia Christensen. Patricia, the daughter of a local street mogul, and Eli Jr. harbored a secret romance at age 16. She became pregnant, and after the birth, her father refused to let her see Eli Jr. ever again. Her baby, Samantha, was sent to the Roottrees. Elias hid her away with a local farmhand known as EC. Patricia was married off to a much older man and sent away. That was the end of that, almost. None of the next gens had ever met or heard of Patricia until she unexpectedly reappeared, now going by Patsy. After Patsy's husband died, she reunited with Eli Jr., and they have finally married in their 50s. Lauren mentioned the wedding in her first diary without knowing Patsy's history. Eli Jr. had never taken another lover. Lauren, ever the romantic, quite appreciated this. When Patsy and Eli Jr. finally married, Elias decided Sam should have been a Roottree in the first place. Even though she was not part of the Clancid trust, he wanted to include her in family affairs. That was what led to Lauren's initial entry entitled Sam. Right. This is a page of additional notes and context from the 1975 10-year anniversary re-release of Lauren's diary. It's a companion piece to the entry about Sam. Clearly, I did not know our true family history when I wrote this. I didn't even know Sam was a Roottree. All my doubts were ill-founded. She's a fine woman. Had she had the chance to grow up with us, Sam might have been the sister figure Gwen never was. Ernie and the kids are lucky to have her, and her children seem eager to help the family in their own ways. Ernie Jr. has been learning the day-to-day from Zach. It has been a long, long time since any real Roottree was as excited and interested in the actual candy as Ernie. As a bonus, Gwyneth has the green thumb of her mother and her adopted grandfather. What I'm most ashamed of is not figuring it all out myself. Sam's a splitting image of Patsy with her jet black hair and green eyes. She doesn't have the thick glasses Patsy did, of course, but I guess that skips a generation. Her children have that covered. It's hard to explain the look on Pop's face when they read that farm's operations would pass to Samantha Roottrees for as long as she was willing. I got flashbacks to when Zach was made president. Mother reframed it a bit to calm him down. Sam wouldn't receive any candy money, after all, and was essentially inheriting the right to rule over the peasants for eternity. Pop warned us away from that farm for years. I never met EC in person, but Pop once referred to him a confirmed bachelor, and I suspect that's why he kept us from there. Sam had to grow up in a house with him and his roommate, Mr. Miller. I'm not sure Sam will ever forgive Uncle Jerry or Patsy for abandoning her to that life. If I were her, I might never forgive them either. But even so, she seems to blame more than just the two of them. She has no problems with us next gens, but she has a palpable hatred for the five pieces and Elias and Gwyneth. So much scandal. This is a page of additional notes and context from the 1975 10-year anniversary re-release of Lauren's Diary. It's a companion piece entry about her son Clark. Reading this back, I get deja vu. As I write this addendum, Clark's gotten married again. No Roottrees has ever remarried. Sure, I lost Jacob, and Gwen divorced Wild Bill just before she had her second. Sure, I lost Jacob, and Gwen divorced Wild Bill just before she had her second. Not even I can blame her for that. I've seen what he gets up to in Starlit, but neither of us took a second husband. With the way the world is moving, I guess it was inevitable someone in this family would remarry. I just wish it wasn't my son. I can only wonder if Clark's apparent disrespect for marriage is due to lack of a real father. I did what I could, and Lord knows Eli C. stepped up and helped, more than I can say for Clancy or Edward. Eli C. practically raised Clark and Jim as brothers whenever he could. Eli's marriage seems fine, and Jim's marriage seems solid as a rock, pun intended. So who knows what causes those things. I suspect that he's marrying Jane to keep her from running out of the band. Without her, he'd be the third wheel, and I imagine they wouldn't last long as a trio. But still, I don't think a marriage is such a shaky foundation like that can last, and Lord knows I was right last time. Okay, something I didn't do. We have Clark. We had someone named Danielle. I didn't put the name. This is going to be the second marriage. Probably. I mean, she does the 10 names. I mean, 10 years later. I assume that's Danielle. And so then she says, well, he gets married again. Marrying a Jane. I would assume if it was a third, she would be even more of like, holy shit, can you imagine they're marrying a third? Like, it would be more talked like in that kind of manner. So I would assume it's 1, 2. And it was saying that no Roottrees has ever remarried. So again, if that was for some reason the third, then it would have been even more like, whoa, fucking calm down, Clark, kind of thing. I think we're fine with that. I think that's totally. Now there's a mention of a band, which is interesting. That's got me interested. Anyway, let's just keep going. This is a page from the 1975 10-year anniversary re-release, right, but addresses feedback. The biggest complaint I got after publishing my diary was how many similar names there are. And I get it, there are 4 Elis for Pete's sake, but that's how it is. Someone would say, I saw Eli in town, and I wouldn't know which one they meant. My brother? My uncle? My cousin? That's why they became him Uncle Junior, or Miracles Eli, or Eli C. Our family's names were always unusual. Grandpa Elias was a believer in using the names of each generation to honor those in the last. His father and Grandma Gwyneth's father, his father, and Grandma Gwyneth's father. I'm so bad with, like, family tree stuff. At some point, it's like reading, like, IKEA furniture, like, directions, where I start, like, I start just, like, my brain tries to keep it all straight, and I'm not good. I know it's a weakness. It's a weakness. Me and spelling, and then me and family tree diagramming. I don't know what you'd call it. You start telling me great grandma, and I'm like, I don't know what that means. Honestly, this is the thing about me. I've talked about this before. In my family, me and my direct family, because of family issues, and maybe this is why I'm very interested in, like, family drama stuff. It's because I didn't have that growing up, and to this day, my extended family is very much not a big thing that, like, me and my, like, brothers and sisters were ever a big part of. Even though we have a lot of extended family because we all come from, like, large families, because of family stuff, I don't have like, huge ties to extended family. Whether that's a good thing or bad thing, you know, you could make whatever argument you want. But, like, so in my head, when people start going, oh yeah, my great grand aunt mother again, and I'm like, I don't know, I have no basis. I have no touchstone for any of this, you know. Like, I think that I joke about it kind of, but I think there's some truth in that. You know what I mean? I think there is, like, since I can't visualize it on my side personally, like, I have no tie to that. You start asking me, like, who is my great whatever, I'd be like, I don't know. Blame family problems. I have no touchstone for this. Anyway. Our family's names were always, unusual. Grandma Elias was a believer, or Grandpa was a believer in using the names of each generation to honor those in the last. His father and Grandma Gwen's father were named Edward and Clancy. So now you see where my Bop's name came from. One thing that's always been consistent in our family, though, is that anytime someone's a junior, they're always the firstborn son. That goes for Miracle, Eli, or even Clancy. With the women, however, it all goes out the window. I think Gwendolyn got her name from some combination of Gwyneth and Caroline, who was Elias's mother. Women's names tend to get all mixed up as the generations went on. I guess that's because there's no female equivalent of junior. I've always thought that was weird that there wasn't. So if you're reading my diary confused, you're not alone. Even the government had problems. I remember once receiving certified mail for an Edward Clancy Roottrees. I had to break the news. They got my father's name backwards. That they got my father's name backwards. Clancy Edward. Boop, 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 boop. But I don't know anything. This is a page from it's not a companion piece for any specific entry, but rather a fun bonus. Apparently, this is the first thing she could find that she ever wrote. She knows it was her school assignment about anger, and she believes based on the teacher's name, she must have been in 3rd grade. She didn't exactly remember the event spelled out, but here, remember the event spelled out here, but she does remember getting in trouble. I got angry when I met a new girl who I do not like. She was dirty and did not have a pretty dress. Me and Pop walked home in town and she hugged him. When I told her he was my Pop, she pushed me. I got angry and yelled at her, and Pop said to treat her nice. Then she said, your Pop is my dad. She screamed it loud in my ear. She was lying to me, and lying is not a nice thing. So I pushed her too. Then I got in trouble. Then Pop took her away. He told me, don't worry, I'm glad she's gone. Oh, boy. Okay. Okay. All right. How is there 11 magnifying glass units on this thing? What do you mean? What do you mean there's so much tied to this? How can there be so much? I just made the dumbest face while I was like thinking. Let me just see something real quick. I mean, what the hell? Okay, wait a second. What does this mean? What is this? Where? What is this? What is this? What is this? What is this? What does this mean? What is all this? Okay. Let me... I'm thinking. I'm like, my brain is catching up. This means that Clark here, his line goes all the way down. Eventually marries someone here. But what is this offshoot then? What is this? What do you mean? They split up. Meaning Clark and this. But then what is this? And what is this? And what is his name? And this would mean that you... What do you mean? Did you... Because obviously these two are going to be like these two. Right? Unless... What's going on there? Why am I so confused by this? What is Clark? What? So Jim is just not a name. So was the whole thing that he went... Okay. 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 like... It said in the thing that he was marrying a Jane. But Jane... Talk of the band. What is this? What is this? I don't understand the diagram here. This would be Clark's line all the way through. A third marriage to someone, producing 2 kids. This would mean they just split up, but they had a kid here. So there is a kid who probably wouldn't take the name of Jane. So it's probably like, you are Kim. You're probably Kim. And then you would be Diamond. But why is... Go back to the article. Go back. Clark. Where's Clark? With the way of the world... Okay, this is the paragraph I wanted. I suspect that he's marrying Jane to keep her from running out of the band. Without her, he'd be the third wheel. I don't know, man. I don't know. What would this mean? If you're marrying a Jane... But, unless it's like, this is a, maybe, okay. Remember how, like, was it in, like, Obra Dinn, where there were, like, potentially, like, occupations or names or something that, like, were there and were never used, like, they were just there to be, like, a throw-off thing? Is it, like, Diamond is Jane, and Diamond's obviously the stage name, and then, so this wouldn't be, like, a thing, and so maybe it says, like... But we start to run out of names. You know what I'm saying? Like, who... And we gotta have the kids. Where's the final stop? Where's this? What if it... I just thought of another thing. We're getting the book. These writings by Lauren. It could be... It's an unreliable... I don't know how this game, it holds its things. But there could be unreliable narrators in this whole thing. What if... This is just an example. But, like, what if Clark had 3 marriages and she only knew of 2? That's very possible. That's very possible. It could be a thing. She was so pissed about the second marriage and all. What if there was a third marriage somewhere that she doesn't know about? So then, on the family tree thing, we as a player would piece it together, but I don't know what she knows or what she doesn't know. Which then, it's all a problem. We're all in a big We're all having problems here. This is a problem. This is a big problem I'm having. My brain wants to shut off. You know what I mean? I need to get... Jim, Miracle Jr. So that... Did I get all the... I didn't get these faces yet? My bad. Is it weird to me to think that at some point there's going to be like a jump scare? And there's going to be like a hidden face somewhere? Okay, so probably... Okay. Here's... Miracle was probably thrown into the picture to stand next to Miracle Jr. Like, she's over here being like, I don't know why it was fair for Miracle made it in, since he's technically a 5-piece. I guess my inner child still has a grudge even after all these years. Okay. I think... It's got to be like this. And then this is going to be... Why do I keep going... Wait a second. Jim Roottrees. Jim? Did I already put in Jim? Is that why? Wait a second. Where? Jim? Jim? Jimothy? Could be a nickname. Or I could just be dumb. But wait, so why would... I take this back. Can I just delete? Take... unknown. I regret what I've done. I regret everything. I honestly... I regret everything. I regret so many things right now. Okay, here, we need to lock in some things. We need to, I am so sober right now. I just have a cough. This is done. This is done. I'm so sure of these. I literally just need to get one of this or this. This. So, Jim... I don't know how to type anything. Oh my god! I don't like this. I don't like what I'm doing. I don't like what I've done. I don't like anything. I want to restart the game. I need to restart it all. Take it all back. Take it all back. A mental reset is needed. I need... Okay. New idea. How do we feel? How do we feel about how do we feel about that? How do we feel? How do we feel about this? I'm not saying I'm not saying we're right. I'm not saying I'm right ever. I'm just saying how do we feel? How do we feel? How do we feel? How do we feel about this, huh? How do we feel? I'm just taking a temperature check. Just a good old temperature check. Just that's all. I just wanted to see how it looked to me. You know, it's all, again, vibes-based solving. Alright, there's got to be an easy way of putting this together. Miracle and Jim, this Jim guy, Jimbo? Jimothy? One of them, because of the stars, one of these is Miracle, and one of these is Jim. That's a hard and fast rule. Because it's not these are not wrong. I'm not wrong here. These are so right. No, I didn't. I was busy. I'm in my mind palace. I'm not opening up links. Plus, I assumed it was just going to be some kind of thing that was to clown on me, and I didn't need to be clowned on. A different series is Carl's. Oh, I see what you're saying, yeah. Alright, so Miracle. Wait, so she said Miracle was around his age. This has to be Miracle. This has to be Miracle. Miracle Jr. This has to be Miracle Jr. Put whatever picture you want. That has to be Miracle. Because the whole point in this... Miracle was in it, and the three of us were all about the same age. So there, if Miracle is here, and it has a star, and it's going to be of the same age as them, you are a miracle. I'm going to assume... But am I thinking this picture was enhance? Is it actually really old and it just looks young to me? You find a website for the Miracle Network, a production company run by the Miracle Roottrees state. It's quite bare bones, but has the following blurb. Witness the testimonies of the Miracle's Roottrees. Miracle Roottrees arrived so late in his mother's life that doctors swore he wouldn't survive his first year. His mother and father, Elias and Gwyneth, named him Miracle because they thought him impossible. He was younger than his brothers and sisters by over 14 years. With a birth that late, the final child of his generation was nearly torn apart by countless health problems. But still, with the power of God on his side, he persevered. He triumphed over these complications, even regained his sight to spread the healing word of the Almighty. 23 years later, Miracle Roottree Jr. arrived and became the famous family's second vessel for the higher power. At 18, he unburdened himself from the Roottree name and took his father's testimony to a whole new level. Via the power of television, Miracle Jr. spread the gospel across the entirety of New England. Via the power of television, Miracle Jr. spread the gospel across the entirety of New England. He has since left the life of glamour and glitz bound to reach those places that need it most. Power Lord coming to a town near you. Below is the blurb. It's a flyer about the tour, which is in your evidence. Okay, let me... How do we feel about that? It was saying, so late in his mother's life, a doctor swore he wouldn't survive. So the last child being a miracle Roottrie. By over 14 years. Great. So that would stick him there. Right. And then, of course, you'd be Junior. It's definitely not medium mogul. That would be silly. I don't even know why I clicked it. But it's not preacher, because you're not a preacher. You would be... Like, what would you... Look at this picture. The flyer of the 3 Generations of Miracles tour. The flyer is a few years old. It comes from 1996. The names listed are Miracle Jr., who's said to be world famous, gets top billing. Miracle Jr. is in the notable Roottrees list. Right, he'll be marked on the chart with a star. Miracle Jr. Miracle Roottrie, who the flyer says will make a special appearance. Miracle the Third and his wife Nicole, who are said to be the youth pastors. There's that colorful tie. That damn colorful tie. Okay. Let me... Just for the sake of... Oh! Wait. Okay, I need to have like a reckoning with myself. I don't know what to do with myself right now. I'm so bad. Okay, so my problem was I was sticking a picture that I thought I was being clever with, probably. Go away. I need to look at my thing really quick. Go away for a moment.
You're on a roll.
No, I'm not.
I'll try to keep that
Shut
momentum
up.
going. Carl's office was a mess, thanks to some burst pipes.
I'm losing my mental.
But I unearthed a photo from a 1970s Roottrie reunion. I also found some important-looking papers.
Take this. Oh, I'm still busy with all my other things, lady.
You've traced 9 blood relatives so far. I'll have more to share after you find 9 more.
I need to go back. Okay, I caused a problem. I caused a problem. Clearly... Bah. Bah. So then what was I doing with the pictures? Why did I do anything? Why did I even try? Okay. I feel like I... Are these faces? These are not faces. Sorry, I'm like moving my face up to the monitor here. Okay. Yeah, it probably, like, especially when you know, like, all the answers or whatever, it probably is like, oh, I know exactly why you maybe, not only why you made a mistake, but, like, your thought process in making the mistake. I mean, okay, so then, am I overthinking it? Is it just, was I thinking this guy looked too young originally? Am I bad at looking at faces? They're youth pastors. Was that a thing in this? Youth pastor. Youth. Baby. I'm not... This may shock you. I'm not well versed in all of religious things. Is a pastor the same as a preacher? Like, if I put it says he's a youth pastor. Is that same as a preacher? Like, this is just a definition of a word thing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even know if those two words mean different things. Like, I don't even know what words mean. I barely speak. This picture is killing me, also, I must say. Alright, I'm gonna leave that there. I think this feels good. That feels good to me. Let's take a look at some of this random evidence we got, yeah? What seems like it would be the nicest? Campaign mailer, vote for Stephanie Jones for City Council. Better for Butler County. It's a colored photo. It's not in black and white, so there's at least that. This was buried under a ton of other mail that Carl left in his inbox. It has a handwritten note attached that seemed personal. It is a flyer about a candidate for local office, Stephanie Jones. On the back is an excerpt from a newspaper article from the Butler County Times about her campaign. Stephanie may have grown up in an unconventional family, to say the least, but in her words, it was still full of love. And now, 22 years later, with a baby of her own due around Christmas, her message for voters is simple. Love is our future. The handwritten note says, Carl, I know we don't see eye to eye when it comes to the candy company, but if you could talk to your girls about putting out a statement supporting Stephanie, she could use the publicity your daughters bring. Don't let our conflict spread to the next generation. CM. Don't worry, I'm just playing dumb. What do I always say during puzzle games? I act as the fool so that people watching along or have already played and then watching me, they're like, "Oh, this guy's so dumb. I'm so smart in comparison," and I'm making the viewer feel good about themselves. That is my job. Always keep that in mind. Always keep that in mind. I don't know how to write her name. You learn from an election results page that Stephanie Jones, a candidate for city council, won her campaign on election day about a month ago. You find no mention of the Roottrees in any articles about her. Stephanie also has a very bare-bones website for her campaign. It's simply a picture of her campaign mailer, and underneath it says, "Be sure to read the full article in the Butler County Times." Butler County is located outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. While the Roottrees Candy Company now has its headquarters in the city, the company began on a small farm within the Butler County limits, and the area has a lot of history with the family. Butler County Times is presumably a local paper there. There are likely articles from other years involving the Roottrees family and those adjacent to them. It's been automatically added to your periodical search interface. As a side note, a video game called The Roottrees Are Dead was once set in Butler County, and it turns out the creator never lived in or near Butler County, or even had any connection to Butler County. Wait, there's a video game in the video game? Or is this just being cheeky? The Roottrees Are Dead, not to be confused with a similar game called The Roottrees Are Bred, is a video game about a fictional family called the Roottrees and about discovering their lineage after the Roottrees sisters kill in plane crash. Game takes place in Butler County, which is a real county in Pennsylvania, but uses fictional elements as a fake newspaper called the Butler County Times. Creator of the game does not know anyone who lives in Butler County, has never even been there. Instead, he just randomly picked somewhere on the map near a major metropolitan area that sounded reasonable and hoped not to somehow accidentally offend the people that actually lived there. Okay. Okay. The most recent mention of Stephanie Jones is a small report detailing the election results from last month's election. Stephanie apparently won her election. You'll find the full version of the newspaper clipping on the back of the campaign mailer. While most of it is unimportant, you do find the following. Stephanie Jones, born Stephanie Landon until her marriage to local business owner Brian Jones, has lived in Butler County her whole life. Stephanie grew up in a home without a father. With my mother and her partner, I essentially had an entirely female influence. Though she is a distant cousin of the Roottrees, her mother Caroline, a local artist who has appeared on the front page of the Butler County Times in the past, has also come out opposed to the corporation's policies regarding deforestation of indigenous trees to expand their maple farms. Unlike my mother, I'm not a fighter. I want to bring love to the world. I'll check. Let me see something. No. Oh shit, it's an achievement. You're really doing this, are you? The Roottrees Are Bred is a game about a fictional family of ducks who lives in Butler County. Their three sons, the Roottrees brothers, accidentally offend a witch who turns them into bread. They are then eaten by some of the other citizens of Butler County. It's all quite grim. The player must identify all the ducks in the area, their lineage, and of course their occupations to find out. According to the slogan, which ducks killed the Roottrees? If you're looking for a hint for that game, I heard one of the ducks is a bank robber who goes by the name the Safe Quacker. There, I hope you're happy. Now go back to looking into the Roottrees. I'm trying to make sure I got... Damn. Okay. So let me... Distant relative. Boo-doo-boo-boo. I'm not confident enough to start doing... Well, actually... Ah, fuck you. Okay. Okay, let me... Wait, let me try something. Okay, so... Let me just see... I'm dumb here. Did I type the name in wrong? I don't know how to spell. Morden. Morden. Morden? Morden? Caroline... Did I type that in wrong again? I think I just blank out. I think I think when I start typing, I mean to type stuff, and then I think I just like, I think I close my eyes and just let I let the devil take over my body and start typing on the keyboard, you know? Are you of right sound, body, and mind to play this game? I don't think I am. I'm clearly struggling. You could tell I meant to do a thing, and then I just like I started my consciousness like left my brain. I think it is due to the sickness. I should not be. Okay, let me read this. You find a cover story about local art installations, including one by Caroline Morden. This isn't much about Caroline as a person. This is mostly a listing of art in Butler County. She seems to get top billing. Accompanying the story, there's an image of Caroline standing beside a large metal sculpture of a mermaid. It is captioned, Caroline standing next to her sculpture, Atlantis Burden. The sculpture is one of many works featured in her upcoming book, Self-Portrait, Art and the Beauty of Women. According to a quote further down, Atlantis Burden is meant to symbolize a society split. Atlantis' burden is meant to symbolize society split by indecision over whether women should be equals or something to protect. Picture on the front page has been added to your evidence. Okay. I'm going to take this as a sign. Let's go ahead and I know I have evidence that has big exclamation points. Let's call it a night for now because I'm having trouble even typing shit apparently. I'm just saying nonsense. Everyone's pointing and laughing at me and not with me. Clearly I'm struggling. And we'll leave some exclamation points though for when we pick up this game next. How does it auto save? Do I need to save and quit? It'll leave us some, maybe we didn't get very far into the game, but at the very least, I've solved some things. All right, we didn't just completely spin our rudders for no progress for 3 hours. I did some things. It's fine. We'll get back into the game. We'll be fine. And everything will be good. We'll be perfect.